Hello and welcome to Jade Kind Gaming Presents the Observatory. My name is Bob and this is the 51 session of the Shadow Kingdoms 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm joined here with Austin as Mary, Ryan as Mother June, Adam as Dr. Richter, and Nick as Maribel. Alright, and last we left off, there was some dungeon exploring, there was a little bit of proselytizing, and I'm relatively sure we're still working on getting through the dungeons.
Sewers.
Oh, right. Sewers. Freudian slip. I'm sure it's fine. Please, continue walking.
Tree!
Well, the question is, how long have we been there? And I guess it's a rebel check to know how long it would take us to get from here back to the entrance.
At this point, you've probably been down there for a couple hours.
Okay, so we probably have a couple more hours to go before you want to retreat. So, still giant wolf spider form. Continue mapping. Owl's out there doing his thing, and I'm pointing at holes. Yes, this would be just after we did a short rest after 3 hours, so we're 4 hours in.
Yeah.
So I could re-up transformations. So, any checks or just as we were?
Well, I guess you did take a rest, so you need to re-roll your mapping, because you got a 15 on the last one.
Okay.
It says it on the notes.
Well, first, Owl flies forward, going to be stealthy and perceptive. He gets +3 to each. So, 15 stealth, 20 perception. I will also move forward in mapping stuff.
Survival, I do believe.
You guys are just protection, so you're not helping. That's fine.
We have trouble communicating with you if you're going to pretend to be a spider.
Yeah, that is true. 20, let's see. Yeah, 22.
Okay. So that's like another 2 or 3 hours going through the sewers, mapping out things.
Yeah, I'll have us pulled back once I think my transformation won't last all the way back to the entrance.
The transformation will last all the way back to the entrance already.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
Because you're like 4 hours in.
Oh, I didn't know if that's just because we were going so slow. If we booked it, either way, that's fine. So, a couple more hours of mapping, then head on back.
Well, I mean, you get 2 hours for your transformation, don't you? Or level 6?
3. Yeah.
3, okay. Well, this is like fresh from a short rest, but yeah, you're probably like, you could either map or you can go back. Like, you can't
Do both.
Yeah, time-wise.
You had brought up that you were going, your smartness was going to bring up we should leave these hammered in but remove the last one from where we first were. So you might want to say, let's head back and remove that.
Well, I figure eventually we're bound to head back, and I'll just say it when we walk by it.
I mean, you do wander past exits.
Yeah, we could just take another exit out here, not go back to where we came in.
Also, that was when I thought we entered in our area, and it was like the first hole close to us.
No, this is in the middle of there.
Yeah,
area.
so once I found out we entered in the middle of theirs, I don't think it matters.
Oh, okay.
So,
you do pass exits every now and again.
Yeah.
I assume you go up there and try to figure out where?
at least a rough idea, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably send one of Austin's tiny fly ass.
I can do that.
The bat?
The bat too.
Well, the owl could. I just don't think they could get through the grates to get a good look.
But a bat could.
Yes, given its echolocation blind sight, but I don't know how big their blind sight is.
Like 30 feet.
And how good at landmarking they are to figure out where they are in the district.
Yeah, that's not necessarily needed. We just needed enough where we're able to know that, like, he or I or like someone can actually look up without.
Oh. Just yell at the thing. Okay, no one's there. Go peek.
Okay, with that precaution,
Blind sight 60 feet.
Nice.
Juicy.
good to be a bat.
Mhm.
So with those precautions, you can link it to the top side understanding relatively easily.
Then I'll circle us back around so we'll come up near our side of the district. And
Back.
then,
Well, so you're going to try to map a circle back without going further in?
yeah,
Okay, because you're mapping without purpose other than to just map
true.
at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
right now, yeah,
it's fine if you're doing a complete mapping of the area. I just need to know, like, if you're mapping to a, like, trying to find a path to a way, it is slightly different than.
I mean, in all technicality, we are trying to find where this Blades boss is hidden down here, but we're just kind of randomly going at it with the idea that we have to.
Okay.
We haven't found any tracks or anything down here.
No, it's a sewer. It's
I would think there would be mud and other stuff that would leave tons of tracks.
well, there's also a lot of water.
Yeah, but I thought
That-
all the water was in
that-
a channel.
It's guided towards it, but obviously not. No, there's as many other tracks for us to follow as there is ease of them following our tracks.
True.
Yeah.
Well, your guys, I'm on the ceiling. Well, technically yours, he's flying. So is Al.
I don't know. You could always send Mary to tail somebody. They say they hand messages off to the guy, so.
But in the couple times I've observed their thing, I've never seen someone going out to give a message or like that, so I don't know who to tail. But yeah, so
Also,
I guess you're right, we should logically sort of spiral in towards the center.
towards the bar, because you guys already have a section of it that you know from there that isn't connected to this wider section.
Okay, so like you're actively trying to peel back the fog of war, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because also, I don't know if I knew, but I feel like you guys knew when you were near the bar that there was some sort of secret entrance to somewhere down there, and you couldn't find it.
Yeah, we had no actual evidence of it, but we felt it in our, dungeoneering bones.
I feel like you felt like there was evidence of it, but you
we
couldn't figure out how it
open.
worked.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out how to open.
Yeah, the rat told you.
Yeah.
I thought he said he wasn't there all the time, and we didn't find any scrapey along the lawn. We just knew there had to be something because they kept prisoners in the basement.
No, the rat told you.
Oh, okay.
Because at that point we thought, well, maybe it goes into that basement. But that basement isn't big. That basement is relatively small. It's a little jail cell basement with 6 cells that are all anti-magic. And seeming to all actually be cells. So most likely, it doesn't actually go into any of the cells. Most likely, it goes into wherever the guy is hiding. Which might be literally, physically underneath that thing, but just not have a direct entrance from the bar. Or if it does, in some other back room that we don't have access to, or...
Yeah. But right now, peeling back Fog of War as best as can. Then at the end of 8 hours, we'll go up topside.
Okay. So yeah, you spend your 8 hours wandering around, making a map,
Plugging up holes.
plugging up holes. You do eventually
Run
run
out
out.
of my 20.
So there
At a
comes
certain point, we've plugged all the holes we're up to plugging.
No more
How,
plugs.
how many more ceiling holes do we come across?
probably 1 or 2, but with the owl's perception and the fact that you're just kind of
Yes, I'm walking along the ceiling.
yeah, you can plug them relatively easily.
Yeah.
But you do eventually run out of plugs.
Yeah, okay. So nothing tonight. We'll have to try again tomorrow, probably. Lead us up topside, untransform, and guide us back to our area.
Okay.
Just chatting on the way back of things I found. Drawing up my map of it.
Giving him dirty looks about chatting about that as we walk through public.
Oh. Fine, I'm drawing my map.
Like, listen, I haven't been allowed to talk for hours.
Nah, it's fine. You were talking the whole time. We understood you. The bonds of companionship helped exchange those words.
So I guess we aim to be back at the Red Horse by meeting time.
Yeah, I suppose you would have, because, you were working all night.
Mm-hmm. We're on Austin's schedule right now.
So, Brian, you do have some time. I don't know if you were sleeping or not during this, because you've had your full day. They went out and did this in the evening.
It's like I'd probably go to bed at a normal time. I didn't.
Okay, so you're in bed up for the meeting. No need to. Okay, so we are going to go to Friday. Friday morning meeting.
You know, I hate when I go through a day that has great rolls and I never needed any.
Hey, those were great rolls. They could have been super helpful in there.
But I didn't need it.
Hey, I could have got trapped by a slime and desperately needed them.
That's true. That happened at least once. It could happen again.
That was just outrageous.
It could happen to you.
Okay, so as you guys all gather in, Molly and Hammerstein walk in. Molly in her nice pink suit, hat on, big old peacock feather, mother of pearl buttons.
Still, actually, just Richter this morning.
Oh,
Too tired to whatever.
Yeah. By the time you guys drag your butts back in there, it's about a half hour to 45 minutes until the meeting anyways.
yeah. Sit there and just going to bed soon. Load down 80 or 90 good berries and it's going to give you Spartacus.
I'm going to make the assassins attack you tonight.
Come on, I don't have 3 or 5 centimeters of mannerite. There shouldn't be assassins in my room for days on end.
You're part of a active gang that's making a lot of enemies. No, we absolutely are going to be attacked by assassins. Don't be stupid.
I mean, you keep assassinating people.
That
At
is a
some
motor
point, it's
solver.
my turn.
You can't prove we did that.
Okay, so as everyone comes in and gathers, and you guys have been there for a while.
Take a shower or a bath or whatever's in the Red Horse. Then
Okay. So as everyone makes their way in, and the bunny hops in from her bath, by the time you guys walk in the room, even though you're early for the meeting, it seems like Dr. Doomstayer is just sitting in there, reading a paper, drinking his tea, just reading the paper. He looks up and he's got an apple pie or something next to him, drinking tea, and just looks up and goes, I guess there goes my morning. Starts grumbling, and then it
Carry on, we're not starting early.
takes on his standard completely not paying attention pose of foot dangling, bunny slipper flopping.
Oh, it's an affectation.
Well, you see, if you try too hard, people give you more work. If they think they can't trust you with the work they've already given you, they'll give you more work. I mean, look at you. You drink every night.
Yeah. I didn't do it last night.
You made a mistake somehow.
We took him along.
I do lots of valuable work.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
I can vouch for it. I've definitely seen him working.
I've seen him working, too. Very hard.
Doomsayer, we get shipments from you weekly. We know you work.
A potential proposal for future plans. Once we take over the Balance Blades area, take their bar and make it into an alchemy shop for the doctor.
Ooh.
So as you guys filter in, the rest of you, Abbott comes in and sits down, and then following quickly behind him is Molly and Hammerstein. And Hammerstein comes in and puts a big bag in the middle of the table.
Alright.
A donation from the late, great Sir Bailey Mont.
How generous.
Tragic.
Alright. As far as orders of business on what to do with this, I think that we'll be able to fully max out our legal requirement for the gambling. Say that should be done easy enough. We're right now we're still dealing with what? 50-ish gang members in total?
We've started recruiting, but I don't know if we've got any return on those yet.
I have numbers somewhere.
And it was 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 gold.
Which one did I put?
I think you have... Yeah, I think you have 50 or so. And then you have, like, Jake, Klaus, Elias.
Yeah, or
Elias, it's not Elias. I swear to God, I forget his name literally every time because I only think of him as the Warlock. It is Elias.
that's why I wanted to rename him Aladdin, because it's like that's easy to remember.
It's Elias Wood.
Mm.
What? There's no pun there.
I don't know, my brains can't see the forest for the wood. Not quite a joke there. But, so, big bag of money. It's like, I do ask if we'd want, as a gang, to invest in a staff of the woodlands.
We'll kind of discuss our own personal gear here in a moment. I think the doctor also said that he needed some money for his own personal stuff.
Yes. To get into hiding.
Molly's just like, I mean, if you want to learn how to hide, I can teach you. I mean, I'm pretty into hiding.
I don't know if we really can.
Like, just, for example, she, like, picks her hat, gives it a shake, and it flips inside out and turns black, and she puts it on, and then pushes a button
Was
on
there
her
any
collar,
piece
and
of,
her
equipment or
suit goes
magic,
completely black.
type of stuff that you needed money for?
Yes,
Nothing.
but your face is the same.
Well,
I mean, if we're in a certain surplus, I could find
What about
use
now?
for some money.
It's the
yeah,
same.
I figure as well.
Looks grumpy.
Completely different.
But
She's not wrong.
might as well get our ducks in order first.
It's Friday. Does that mean Molly's done training?
I believe so. But her next task's already been given to her.
Yes.
So we now have a group of boys that are at least trained in stealth.
Yes, all your boys are now stealth trained.
Yeah.
All of the ones that are from the horse's head, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's Molly's next one? Because you might have discussed it, but I don't remember.
Recruiting people for Spy Network.
Oh. She's gonna pull Hammerstein in on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Molly's doing. Let's see who else we got. Nope. Underground secret room is getting close. So, Steve clears his throat and says, so, I got some information that you wanted me to look for, was into who handles the corruption from the guards and the internal affairs of handling that. And as far as each unit is handled by their captain, and each captain is handled by what was her name? The law lady.
She the executioner lady?
No. Is handled by... Trying to remember her name. She's the, like... What is the word? It starts with a C. Constable of justice for the kingdom. So she's the head of the actual guard.
No, so she's our Justicar?
No, because I don't know what that is.
Okay.
That's Warhammer crap, isn't it?
Mm.
Relatively sure that's Warhammer crap.
No.
Justicar?
I'm not
No,
even sure.
Just a car. He thought that you were saying that she's some sort of automobile.
Justiciar.
Yeah.
Warhammer. I see it from here. It's
Yeah,
Warhammer.
there is a Warhammer version of it.
It's one of those old words, so everyone's got one. But it's literally just a person who does justice.
Yeah, man of justice, judge, Middle East,
there
Middle
was,
Ages.
Yeah,
England.
because she's not that. She's the head of the
that's
guard.
law.
An administrator of justice.
Yeah,
3.5 had one.
Some specific Grey Knight chapter thing. I wouldn't have known that.
But no. Constable. Police force.
Oh, yeah. So, constable lady. And so she would be the one that would be handling corruption within the captains of the area.
Yeah.
And does Steve know any way that we could get in touch with her to feed such information?
Could we just...
She's a member of the King's Royal Court, so it might be a little difficult.
We can just make a dossier of stuff we found and just mail it to her anonymously?
I mean...
That's if we actually want to pull the trigger, if we're not just going to essentially be blackmailing the captains of the area. It's like, we need to be able to actually make good on a threat if we're gonna do it and have them not, maybe spook them in an instant, but maybe they'll think wise if we don't actually have the capability to do it.
I'm sure she has her areas of her informants in areas, but I don't know who they are at all.
Okay.
Because I mean, she's a member of the. If she's in the royal court, she has her own like bureaucracy, I suppose. So there's probably assistants and people who run messages for her and people who do things for her that aren't necessarily members of the guard, but they work for her in that capacity. Of like, I'm sure she has a secretary
Well,
or
I
an
guess
assistant or something like that.
I guess if you wanted to look into what the formal process to get in touch with her or somebody of the King's Court would be,
Okay,
that might be worthwhile.
I'll look into it.
Cool.
I believe Abbott's free again.
Yes, Abbott was working on the accounts and he hasn't done anything new.
Yep. Because he went and got the money yesterday with Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Alright.
So Steve's free, Abbott's free. Jake has been growing the gang in the slums district, which I suppose I should give him a chance.
Gonna do this one and this one.
So he reports that he has 19 members in the slums.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So that brings us up to 69.
Nice.
It's important. You gotta observe the ritual.
I know.
Don't disrespect your heritage.
And those are basic thugs. Like, they don't have the stealth training
Yeah.
that Molly has given the ones in the horseless heads who have turned into, like, rogues, basically.
Okay.
They don't have, like, the full set of powers of rogues, but they have, like, the basic sneaking ability. Like, they don't get to double dash or things of that nature, but they can sneak, and they do have sneak attack now.
Cool.
As long as they're observing the, light weapons by surprise, yada yada yada.
So
But they don't get it in mass.
We don't get
Like,
it.
you understand, like, if they mass army, like, if you do the mass army thing again, they're not getting an extra 10d6 sneak attack damage.
I think they should. just gonna throw this out there.
Just send it a guy.
So yeah, you have 19 basic thugs and 40 or 53 rogue types.
Mm.
And so that took them away from the fighter types they kind of were before.
They were basic thugs before.
Okay, unclassed. Gotcha.
The reason they had increased health was because you had Hammerstein on the payroll, so they got better health because they are have a medical.
Doomstayer?
What?
You mean Doomstayer?
Yeah, Doomstayer. Sorry, Doomstayer, because they had a medical person who was looking after them.
Okay.
Mm. Cool.
So now we can never use them in mass. We have to individualize them so they can fully take advantage of their sneak.
Well,
Oh no, I'm just going to instantly be like, and that's that battle that we will deal with random rolls.
Yes. And hopefully we'll be breaking those guys up into specialty spy units and information gathering. And we can make thug guys, more combat based, I guess.
Yeah, so you did send, like, everyone to train with Molly, so you have a decent contingent of rogue types. So that means basic breaking and entering, sneaking around, the sneak attack thing, like burglary, pickpocketing. Like, you can send your basic gang members out to do things like, instead of just doing the intimidation stuff and, like, the money laundering and the gambling you're doing, you now have the option of sending them out for, like, doing burglary jobs and things of that nature for income as well.
Okay.
Is training basic thugs up into a class role how we get them, well, obviously to do more stuff, but make them be income makers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, your basic thug, like, they can do the simple things. They can do enforcement, they can do loan sharking, they can, like, do gambling type stuff.
Yeah.
Where they're not really, it doesn't require someone with a specialized talent. But if you want people to break into houses, you need basic rogues. If you want them to break into things like banks or churches or, like, higher tier establishments, you need to get them trained up into, like, being a proper thief and things like that. And, like, invest in their equipment and things of that nature.
Okay.
Investing in your guys will create a better money flow from them and give them abilities like, oh, I want to rob that museum. They've pissed me off. I want them to lose everything. Well, if you chain 53 people from rogue up into thief, and you send them to take all the things, you can, in one night, take all the things.
How many books could they carry?
At least 53 of them.
I know a building that we might want
Probably more.
that has wronged me.
But yeah,
And I like the idea of the library opening up and not having any books.
But like you can train them into clerics, which will increase like the health of your people and things like that. You can train them up into doing magical abilities. You can train them as a druid, rogue, like fighters, barbarians,
Warlocks.
warlocks. Yeah, like you have
That's
people,
how you get your numbers.
You
You
have
just have our own guys.
people that you can train into it. The warlock job's a little harder to make them specialize in that thing that you want. So you can't necessarily be like, all right, all the boys are warlocks and they're all gonna go to the Dread Overlord Steve.
I don't know. Well, what's his name, Alucard or whatever? It's like, fine, they'll all be worshipping genies or whatever.
Yeah, like, we'll find somebody. Come
Just
on,
this
Steve.
one genie,
Either-
all the powers.
Come on, Steve. It's either you or your competition.
Mm-hmm. I do ask Molly if she believes. Molly and
Yeah, I bleed.
if she believes her and Jake, if the boys would be able to burgle in the Bounce Blade area without being caught, or if that would be too dangerous.
It would be dangerous.
Because
They can certainly try, and we could get benefit from that, but there's a chance that some of them are gonna get caught.
Because my other thought is, would it be a bad idea for them to be burgling in our areas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we would want to keep kind of a positive reputation in the areas that we take over. Because he said that while we could totally kind of rule our districts by fear, I kind of like the idea of us being a good thing to happen to a district.
I don't know. I guess once we get the spy network together, we can see if any of our areas have dissenters against the church or us,
Mm-hmm.
and then go rob them.
And say we haven't moved into it, but we've got a pretty rich district that's just become a border territory to us.
True. We'll have to explore that later.
Yep. But we don't actually know who operates out of the suburbs quite yet, since
Yes.
we haven't looked into it. Remind me again, how much does Abbott currently owe as far as debts?
I believe like 5,000, or 15,000 or something like that. He lost
What kind of numbers were we playing with that early in the game?
that was what Gatto took from his wife.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying. What kind of numbers was
Nah, it wasn't that high.
I
Yeah.
believe it was 9,000 was the gold you took away, but he also brought up she lost a lot more income by not being able to buy tools and make other things.
No, that would have been part of it. That's your car.
Staff of the Woodlands, 5K, that'd be half the money.
Yeah. But it could pay for itself in like 5 days.
You can wait.
How can it pay for itself in 5 days?
Well, I could cast a spell with it that would take more money than that within 5 days.
What spell?
Awaken.
And why do we need that?
I'm just saying it costs 1,000 gold.
Yes, but why are we spending that 1,000 gold to do that each day that it would pay for itself rather than just be a frivolous thing that you're doing?
Set up an aviary or a bird thing, start awakening ravens, pay them in feed to spy on our enemies for us?
Well, you need to start collecting birds first.
Hmm.
You can still talk with animals.
True. That's a good point. Spartacus, can you have someone set up a aviary or birdhouse in the grounds of the church? Or is everyone on digging duty?
We're digging.
Okay.
Like, I got a couple guys, but mostly we're just digging. So
Okay.
I don't know who I had to spare for that. Oh, Mastiff and Note Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have when Gatto robbed that lady?
Yeah, I can.
I'm guessing session 2 or 3 is
Yeah, it's early session.
because like Abbott was our lieutenant by session 3,
Okay.
so it's right near the beginning.
So. Yeah, because session 3 beginning of it is Gatto and Richter looking for a magic shop bag of holding. So I'm guessing Gatto had gotten paid already. Gatto goes to Sterling the blacksmith and checks a gold block in exchange for a cost of 1 gold. Visits the boss at night at the bar. Most people.
Session 2. I have a note in session 2. Gatto is working with rival gang. Loyalty is questionable.
He was working for that rival gang.
He showed up at town, immediately picks up new game.
I think it's 5,000.
Yeah. Privately goes to talk to Abbot Jorgensen, owes the boss a sum of money as unpaid debts, convinces him to pay the debt to get a shop. Hears the sounds of smithing as they go to the shop. Debtor points to owes 6,000 gold as his debt.
Yeah, but I think he stole more than that.
Finds a burly woman looking in the forge, walks into the shop, starts taking precious metals. Little RJ has been beaten and bleeding, and the others nursing. Big RJ is protecting the debtor. She's gone mad. Took her stuff, raw mithril and other precious metals, 14,000 of materials.
Yep.
And
So I was pretty close. So yeah, Abbott owes her 14,000
yeah.
at least.
Gatto is given a 500 gold bar as part of his reward.
Also, meaning a bag of holding was sub 500, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
Forget, did you make a bad bag of holding that always smelled like something? That's
Cats.
Cat piss. Specifically cat piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a max damage bag of holding.
The man, the legend.
Okay, well, yeah, we can't pay 14k back at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
We could give Abbott 1,000 on a.
Although I do like that you brought that up because I was sitting here thinking, do we offer that?
And does Abbott want to wait till he has all the money in hand versus starting to pay his wife in installments?
Yes.
She's a. You want?
She'd be mad.
She's a big woman. She's so big.
Well, I don't really think like if she's partially paid back, we can use him to manipulate her into helping us. So there's really no reason at that point.
And so, yeah, that's a lot of money you lost.
I mean, I only owed 6,000. You didn't have to take all of it.
That was what's his name, and he's dead now. He got struck by lightning.
Well,
What?
What?
The horse's head Or the Headless Horse gang is one who took that money.
Yeah.
No, Gatto took it.
Yeah.
Well, Gatto took it, but he was taking it for that.
No. You know who took it? Forrest took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Force eventually got the money.
As a matter of fact, he did.
Yeah. And that darn Forrest, we need our money back.
I do hear stories about Forrest being a bastard out in the docks.
Yeah. Guy's just a jerk.
If we get a little more power, we can manage to pull him back. I have some unnatural experiments I'd like to try.
Very strange, but alright.
So,
Bless you.
Thank you.
anyway, as far as what to do with this money,
How short are we on the gambling thing of what we're supposed to be at?
37.15, so 3,715.
Okay, so an easy 4,000 just goes towards that.
Well,
Or an exact amount.
I can put the exact amount in.
Yes, we put the gambling back up to 10,000.
Yeah. It's like I can put the exact amount in.
That seems like too much work.
And then I was also planning on buying our boys shields, light crossbows, bolts, maybe armor.
How well does that work with their newest training?
Light crossbows work.
It's like I think basically everybody's proficient with all of that.
That is true. Do rogues or basic thugs have shield training?
That's a very good question. Basic thugs probably wouldn't. I don't know. Rogues don't.
I don't think rogues do.
Skills and proficiencies. Nope. 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 I don't think they get proficiency in shields. No, they don't.
As I'm thinking, gee, you're quiet, and I'm like, I wonder how quiet it is. Oh, Mike's even further than usual.
No.
Should I start shouting then?
No, I just
No,
moved the
no.
mic where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, just light on.
long swords though,
Yeah, they get
which is useless for them.
Yeah, simple weapons.
100% useless.
simple weapons, hand crossbow, long swords, rapier, short swords, and that's it.
It's like, well, that is the question. We have them all with spears, but I'm guessing they can't sneak attack the spears.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
Too heavy. He needs light or finesse.
Mm-hmm. So you get either rapiers or short swords, or just dagger all the boys.
Oh, for
Short swords could be dual wielded, rapiers can't be. I found that out recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so you were looking at what now?
we were talking about how we were gonna split the money up.
Yeah, that was just like equipment wise.
Yeah.
You're
So-
looking at light crossbows.
Yeah, light crossbows, bolts. I was
How many people are you doing?
I was calculating based off 50, but
Okay.
Yeah, because the trained boys, which is 47.
53, so.
Oh, 53. Okay.
Because it's just like 50 light crossbows is 1250.
Do ask Spartacus
Yeah.
if he thinks he could
I
get
mean,
a bulk deal.
short bows are cheap, aren't they?
I don't think so.
Oh no, short bows are the same price.
Yeah, it's like
Slings are
25.
cheap.
Yeah,
You would just give them a bunch of slings.
because that's because what was it?
Yeah, because they basically moved into, we want ranged weapons and weapons with light property. But we gave you all spears and javelins. They don't have that.
No, it's because
javelins
we
are
couldn't
thrown.
afford ranged weapons when we were equipping them with spears.
Yeah, but thrown, I don't think counts.
Javelin's a ranged weapon because you can throw daggers.
Yeah, that's true.
But daggers are also already light.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's that it's range.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Spears are thrown.
Yeah,
You can throw a spear.
Yeah, of course you can.
yes, but again, I didn't know if that counted for sneak attack range.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, if you can sneak attack get a sneak attack bonus with a ballista, you get your sneak attack bonus.
I'm willing to accept this.
As far as I'm
Melissa,
concerned.
they never saw it coming.
Yeah, because none of our regular boys are like level 5 territory, right?
No.
I wouldn't think so. So they could live with having a light crossbow because they don't need to fire twice in a turn.
Yeah. And did Numbnuts just end up with the ability to sneak, or?
Oh no, he's
a barbarian.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not part of it. He's a barbarian.
Okay.
He's his own thing. That's a sergeant.
Okay.
Right.
So, I forget, is there one homeboy, Roy?
Yeah, he's one of our boys.
Yeah.
Roy.
Yeah, Roy. He cares for his mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Very deeply.
He's one of the only ones I know the name of.
He's only the one with the name.
Every time he goes out with you, he has a bad time. He might as well be Worf for how often he gets beat up.
It's his own fault. We never tell him to come along.
You
He
literally
just,
do.
he just keeps volunteering in that group.
You
To be
100% do.
He didn't come on the raid. He was with the other, 8 going out.
Because we try and do that. We try and keep him away because he has to stay safe. Because he has family.
Yes.
Because we haven't heard of any of the other ones' families, they don't exist.
They are numbers on pages. You are a statistic.
Don't worry. Once they die, I'll tell you all about them.
It's like, oh, you lost two guys. Let's pull out the old backstories. Oh, this one had a daughter, freshly born. How tragic.
I did that yesterday. I literally did that yesterday. In a game I wasn't running.
Yeah, you weren't running the game. You were just giving backstories to NPCs that you didn't control.
It's like we do that sometimes.
I know you did. That's
It's
what he was
fun.
doing.
I remember we gave so much backstory to that one cop. I think it was Steve.
I mean, you probably named him, and so it probably was. Because he's probably an NPC that I care so little about that I don't even want to give a name. And a lot of times you guys name him Steve.
Well, in my defense, that's her name. So.
It's now.
Just keep attributing, characteristics to an NPC until you care about them.
And then kill them.
So, it was a couple thousand on light crossbows. Did we also want to give them light armor, or
Yeah.
or did we already have them all in leather, or were they
Nope.
all normal clothes?
They're in normal clothes. They're run around with 12 AC.
I count out 600 that I am just taking. And actually, wait, hold on. Oh no, I don't need that. That's the expensive one. 250.
Yeah, leather armor's 10 gold apiece,
Oh,
which will up
250,
their
I think.
AC by 1.
Um,
Padded is 5 gold, which will also up it by 1, but it will give them disadvantage on stealth.
so that not that. So I take 250.
252 Richter.
Yeah, and then I pass that along for.
Your shapeshift.
That's gear's pretty expensive. So you want
He's a Minotaur. He's Queen.
For a group.
He's
Spartacus?
Spartacus Boulderbane. To obtain 250 gold of crushed ruby dust.
I guess if we're
I recommend probably at least getting it from 2 different. You might have to get it from multiple, but don't get it all from one place, and if it takes a few days, it's fine. It's more important to be less traceable than, in case this becomes something that's done more.
Speaking of paying back debts, Spartacus, how much is it to get your ensuite bath wherever you live that we owe him?
Mm.
I mean, I imagine 750 would do it.
And we paid back what's her name already? When we hired her? Not
I need
Hannah?
more information than what's her name.
I think it's Hannah. It's Abbott's assistant. She
Oh,
did some
yeah,
forging work
Yeah,
for us.
she was already paid.
Okay.
Good old Hanners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, so Spartacus only wants $750 for his bath?
What was the quote before?
3,000 to 4,000.
I think that was for a full facility that also had a bath, like a logistics facility. If you're just adding a bath onto the building that you already have, it's different.
Okay.
Assumably, Spartacus's house already has a pretty decent setup.
No, he lives in the church.
Oh.
It's got a cleaning stone.
Oh. Okay, then.
Just like me.
Yeah.
He got me a cleaning skirt too.
So, $750 to put a bath on the church.
So, are you getting those crossbows?
Yeah.
And you're getting 50 of them?
53 of them, right? Because we
Well,
for each dude.
like, at least Numbnuts doesn't need one.
He's not included in the 53.
Yeah,
No.
the 53 doesn't include him. Those numbers don't include any of the special name characters.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have names.
Other than
Roy.
Yeah, Roy.
who's the poster boy for that group.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Roy has a name. Okay.
For some reason, that group needed a poster, and we had to put some boy on it.
That, and then
So it was wrong.
what else are you getting? The $750 for Spartacus's bath.
Yeah. So I'm still just like writing and calculating stuff to
Yeah.
see how much.
But I need to calculate it too.
I realize.
Did we... So, leather's 1 AC, 10 gold. Is studded, like, double the price for another AC? Or, like, 5 gold more per...
Stud leather is 45 gold. Leather is 10.
Yeah.
Big jump.
Boys aren't getting that. Here, you're a bunch of rogues. Here's your leathers.
Okay, boys. What we want you to do is we all want you to go out and steal some armor and weapons.
Just start stealing rivets. We'll put them in your
yourself.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, equip yourself. We're not gonna.
We have trained you to do so.
Because that's good expenditure of money. While he's calculating, what do you think we want to train the next bunch of slums boys up as? We could teach them all magic or warlocky stuff or clericy stuff.
I think, in particular, we want to start setting aside the group that is fond of Mother's hoopla, and probably have a group trained up as clerics through that.
Okay.
Well, no, don't worry. That's what I'm planning on doing with my next week. But I'm waiting till Saturday to
Start.
speak with the congregation.
Oh, you're planning to pull clerics out of the general pop versus the gang?
No,
Oh, okay.
and it's like I don't think most of them want it. I've got Fleetfoot, who's I guess general pop, but
Yeah. Because we would want some of the gang to be able to cast healing and all that other stuff. Someone...
Like if you
Probably
want to dedicate
fiend-
time to training people in the gang into being clerics, it's probably going to take about a month of dedicated effort, like of at least 8 hours a day
However,
for a month.
is that the kind of thing that, say, his cleric could technically do?
Yes, once
And
you
it-
get the cleric trained up, yeah.
Yeah, so you're working on training your cleric, and then your cleric can be the one that trains them.
Yeah.
And the ones that are going to be interested are well enough aware to know, not crossing streams of what activity.
Well, you guys send out Steve to do little lectures on how to behave in front of the guard and the general public and what is expected of them.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, your guys are pretty good at discretion
Exactly.
because you dedicated a lieutenant to making sure that they were good at being good at discretion.
Yeah.
So
We are sending you to, strong arm people, but do it politely, or at least not in front of guards, or where it can legally be proven it was you.
Yeah, be classy. You're making a classier brand of thug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, spent the money on gambling. I was putting down payment of 1,000 gold into Abbott's debts. Paying for light crossbows, paying for the bolts for the crossbows, 250 for the magical materials, and the 750 for the bath. That gives us a remainder of 2,907. I was going to take the 907, throw that into generic party funds, and then split the 2,000 between the four of us.
Okay, so you're buying 53 crossbows,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
then
bolts for them.
okay, so 53 quivers,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it for the equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
for-
you're not buying armor for them.
No.
Not at this time.
You've got a ranged weapon. You don't need armor.
Well, the problem is, it's like, to get up to the +2, it is a lot more expensive, but the +1 just doesn't feel like it would affect.
Hey, it's +1.
True.
I mean, how many times have you not been hit by 1 point? It happens. I mean, hey, 11 is 10% more than 10.
Yeah, I say get him the armor if it's only the
It's
530
530 gold.
instead of the 900 into party funds.
Because, let's see.
And we still split the 2,000.
Yeah. Because studded leather for everybody would be.
Well, yeah, stud leather would be insane.
Let's,
Yeah, standard leather's 10 gold apiece for regular leather armor,
Okay.
which
then-
they're not wearing any leather armor right now.
Okay, we'll give them leather armor too then.
Yeah, that's true because they can't go up to medium.
Mm-mm.
Medium's got 12 at
Hide. But I bet that gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Some of it does, some of it does not.
I think hide is just lower dex bonus.
Yeah, you go and get
Yeah, max 2.
max 2 on medium. I think all of mediums are max 2.
Yes.
That does suck then. It's like, from what you said, they only have a max of 2, so.
Well, I mean, they had a max of 2.
Are they increasing their dex across the board?
Well, they're rogues now. They're liable to.
Oh, okay.
They're trained as rogues, so as they increase in power, they're liable to increase their dex.
Do we still have them tiered out, like somewhat different tiers, or are they all even out again?
I kind of decided that was dumb.
Okay.
It was way too much work,
Yeah.
so I got rid of it.
Understandable.
Your spreadsheets are enough work, man.
Yep. I can't remember the word constable. Let's not. Okay, so you're currently looking at with leather armor,
Mm-hmm.
1908 for the equipment. Correct? So that's 53 crossbows, 53 armor, 53 quivers.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Do the boys have their own daggers?
Yeah, they generally have like belt knives,
It's not like a weapon.
I don't know. Does anybody have a specific recommendation for additional equipment that's like... I guess Jake could probably know best.
Jake or now Molly.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to point out that we're about to take over a place that's known for short swords. Which is a... Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Molly, but that's the correct size for the boys that you've got trained up. It might be silly to invest in short swords if
We're about to get a
we're
whole bunch
about
of
to get
magical
a
ones.
bunch of short swords.
Magical swords, even.
Okay, so we won't buy short swords, I guess, and we'll just take them off of the balance blades.
I mean, not to be bloodthirsty, but I am in charge of logistics, and I'd love free.
And they're still trained in their spear and javelin, so.
Yeah. It's like they're still able to make use of any of the simple weapons we give them.
Yeah, so as Bob said, as long as they throw it, they can still sneak attack.
You can stick attack javelins if you eat them.
But they'll have the light crossbows for actual
For range, but
yeah, for range combat. Asking Sparty, as far as being able to acquire this equipment, is there any way that I might be able to haggle better prices buying this sort of order?
We're kind of buying in bulk. I have some people that I could call in some favors with. We might have to do something for them, but I could see what I can do about lowering the prices.
Okay.
But this is a bunch of different vendors that we're going through to keep it not look like we're
Outfitting an army.
Yeah. So
especially after we did the last time of getting all the spears and all of the javelins.
let me see what I can do.
All right. Let me know if you need my help.
So other than that, we still have Abbott. It's like, I guess he could go over the new books now that we just arranged all this money, but unless we have something for him to actually do.
No, as far as what he's coming with me today.
Okay. And Steve, we set up a find out how to get stuff to the constable.
Yes. Doomsayer still training.
Doomsayer's training, whole recruiting, spy network. Yep, that's everyone. So we each get 500 gold.
Yep.
So I get a full 500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here like, I don't think I'm going to say anything about it.
That's like, I mean,
I think I'm the intelligent one.
to be fair, I got 300 gold and another 500 gold for spell components.
Mm-hmm.
No, like 600. 300 for each of my things, so that seems fine.
Yeah.
But we also have the identifying pearl that we share.
Yeah.
Just share it.
Doesn't come up often enough not to.
Oh, I have a cleanliness brooch.
Neat.
Believe I do too.
We pulled it off someone as loot.
Silver brooch of cleanliness.
Mm-hmm. As I sit there trying to read my words, what the fuck are you?
You probably got it from Thurston.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't spend cash on it. Someone had it.
Didn't you go into debt for it?
No, I went into debt for my zoot suit. Which I have. It's lime green, I believe.
Priorities, man.
Yeah, green zoot suit. There it is. Ipecac grenade. I still have one of those. And that must mean that's a fire suppressant.
So I will now bring up thoughts of, what do we do as far as
The drunken suit.
are we we've gotten the money. at this point, is it just best to
Cremate?
burn to just cremate as far as getting rid of the body? Because it's still in my bracelet.
Isn't it also eating your bag of holding too? Because you had to put the body in the bag and the bag in the bracelet because the body wouldn't fit in the bracelet.
I suppose you could use him. I mean, you've already got it on hand.
I'm not sure that having him animated is the best idea, as he is recognizable.
Could make him a
How,
skeleton.
how recognizable would he be without any of that?
But then again, magic's a
Magically,
thing. Yeah. Also, magic's a thing, and tracing magic, we don't know how far utility magic would go. So maybe best just we can get bodies easier and just burn the noble.
What if we just dumped him somewhere with around people we don't like?
Yeah.
Is it traceable if you raise dead, like who raised him, once you let him just be uncontrolled?
It can be. It's
Because if I raise him, then they can't resurrect
with,
it.
With how
without
often you deal with corpses and resurrecting and things of that nature, you know that it can be traced. It's not necessarily easy, but it's not outside the bounds of possibility.
So normal corpse, probably not. A noble corpse, maybe.
They might bother
Yeah.
in that situation.
So my suggestion, vote is just burn it. How about just tracing a dead body back to us if we just dumped him in the balance blades area dead?
And that way he might actually make it back to some people who will know resurrect him. Probably best to...
Yeah, burn it.
So what if it's no longer raised?
Like, raise it and kill it?
Yeah, if I raise it and kill it so that it's now a dead skeleton and therefore not resurrectable, because you can't do that to a dead. Plus, that's an easy way to get all the skin to fall off.
Go ahead and
Super
do an
unidentifiable.
Arcana check.
I need some sort of dice for that. Here it is.
Or a potence. Hold on. Well, this is only if you fail.
You don't know?
Well, once he says a number and you say fail, then I can roll D.
20.
No, that's... Yeah, I can still...
Well, I mean, there's gradients of how much information he gets. Does this get all the information? No. Does it get information? Yes. It's not necessarily a failure.
Am I allowed to trigger my thing that's on a reaction to a skill check, whether they succeed or fail? If it's just gradients and
Well,
no
this
fail.
isn't like a succeed or fail kind of... Like, he didn't fall out of a tree. He succeeded, but he could have succeeded more, I suppose.
Yes.
Is it?
It's up to
and it's a
you.
reaction to I fail?
I have to check. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Read what it says.
Yeah, because he didn't fail. He just didn't succeed as good as he could have. He could have gotten like a 30.
I mean... Yeah, I could technically make a 30 on 2 different skills, but nothing else.
About to make an attack roll save. Okay, so I was trying to do that, but I didn't have the exact wording. So, do you rather
Attack roll, saving throw,
or ability check?
Okay. So you didn't say that one. It says.
So you can just add to it?
Yes, number of reaction times a day.
Oh, I mean, good. Number of reaction proficiencies?
Proficiency, yes.
Okay.
So +6.
26.
Okay. So, you know that, once again, it is theoretically possible. It is much, much harder. And
if you were to take those bones and, say, scatter them about and get rid of the skin, or to torch the bones into nothingness, or to grind them and bake them into bread, you could make it completely impossible. There's steps that could be taken that are not terribly difficult.
I like
once
the
you
idea
bake
that my
something.
brain thinks of baking bones into bread. I really like that.
Doctor's a weird dude, yo.
It's like, there's things you could do that would make this relatively easy to get rid of. I mean, didn't the Dr. Doomstayer just make a bunch of acid?
Okay, yeah, no. If that is an option as we're sitting here,
I mean, it's going to use up some acid, but he made
worthwhile
a bunch
just
of acid.
getting rid of it that way.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But
We'll do that
yeah,
after this
there's
week.
other options that are cheaper, including baking his bones into bread.
It's a lot more effort though. This is work that he's already done.
I don't know. So how many vials of acid would you need?
Probably 10 to 15 if you're skeletoning it first, because you're just like
Sure.
melting the flesh and melting the bones separately. It's not as difficult, and you're putting it in an encased container, so as you're melting it, it's, you know, not like it's splashing on the floor getting wasted.
I'm guessing acid splash would just add more magical residue.
Well, it's magic.
Okay.
What his acid's alchemical.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know if we could partly melt the bones and melt them the rest of the way with a lesser amount of acid and still get...
I mean, sure, if you wanted to stand over there and do that for a day.
That would be his job, but I want him for other stuff.
I mean, you're volunteering him to stand over things for acid, to splash things with acid all day, as opposed to just turning something into a skeleton and then...
Plus, for who I am, I haven't gotten to turn like anything into a skeleton at this point.
Got a hankering for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you performed a resurrection, basically. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Pretty nifty.
And speaking of that, Richter, did we want boys in the slums to start collecting dead bodies over there to bring to you?
Are there dead bodies just lying around over there?
I'm sure that there's still some from the last time we left a bunch
Yeah,
there.
you wouldn't believe it. They don't even. They just leave them lying out. They're free. You can just take them.
And I'm sure that we also have...
They're free. That sounds like ownership.
You're aware that you've been organizing people to clean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been, like, they've been cleaning for the last couple days. Probably a lot fewer corpses lying around than you think.
When I'm trying to assemble, like, how do I clean an area, the first thing that I think of, just as a normal person, the first thing I think of is, well, first off, are there any dead bodies? Oh, well, those got to go first.
Corpses are like
It's never going to feel clean while that's here.
Corpses are like sofas when you're painting. You really got to get them out of the way.
General world question, or this kind of specific. Are there corpse stealers? Do people just... A family
What,
died...
like
they,
Mike? Are
like,
you talking about Mike the corpse dealer? You want to talk about Mike?
a little bit. If a family doesn't want to pay for a funeral or burial, or they just give it to this guy, he takes it, pays them a little money, and he sells them to necromancers.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're in a druid town. They give it to the druids. They take them out to the groves and they decompose them.
Oh, okay. So different magical uses. Fine by me.
Make corpse tea. The finest of corpse teas.
Delicious corpse starch.
Well, we know that there's a couple bodies in the sewers.
Yes, we do have a couple of our own dead bodies down there.
No, they were...
Oh, just over in the slums district who
Yeah.
fought us, yeah.
and some of the people that were with Anders.
You do recall that the corpses were in the sewers, and there are things that live there.
Yeah, that area had troglodytes.
But if they don't eat the bones, then we still got a skeleton, so...
Spooky skeleton.
So, I don't know if you want to actually get around to start collecting corpses for...
I'm not... largely, once we have a pen in the sewer, was the idea. Unless you have, like, an immediate need of you were wanting to send them up into the balanced blades.
Yeah, that was an idea. If we're not able to just kind of deal with the boss wherever he is, that might be a more direct method of dealing with the blades.
That is a question. Do you two plan to go back with me to the sewers tonight?
I'm open to the idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well keep working at it.
And I guess you'll probably do top side stuff, or did you want to go too?
If I might be available at night, but I've got stuff I want to do here during the day.
Okay. Because we will sleep and then go. And I think that's everything, except we still didn't give Abbott anything.
He's coming with me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I'm good. Go to bed.
Don't you dare.
Go give Huxley a short walk and his breakfast, then go to sleep.
Okay.
You actually gonna go to sleep or just sit at the bar?
I mean, obviously.
Anything to avoid Steve at this point?
I paid for that invocation. I'm going to use it until I gain a level and replace it.
Because you can't wander around with it anymore?
I cannot do the things I wanted to do with it, so it will be gone when I get my next invocation. I will replace it. Probably something ridiculous, like Devil's Sight.
In my defense, that's what it says. That you can't walk around whilst resting.
Which means it says that he can't use it the way he wanted.
I'm feeling very defensive right now. Why you gotta come at me like that? Huh?
Because it's all your fault. You
What?
control the world.
Well, that's patently true, but that doesn't mean that you should blame me for it.
I shake my fist at God all the time. Don't tell me what I can and can't do.
Before you go to sleep, just in the sky, I shake my fist at God daily.
Sometimes the correct response is to shake your fist at God. Okay, so bed. Oh, sorry, bed, drinking. Or no, are you sleeping? Are you
No. I'm just hanging around in the bar.
Okay, it's daytime though.
Oh yeah, well I have to do my.
Oh,
sleepy
okay.
Yeah.
So you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quote
He's
unquote.
long resting awake.
I'm long
Okay,
resting away.
Mother June, what are you up to? It is Friday afternoon. You have all day. All of your compatriots are going to Betty Bye because they're sleepy Sallies.
Yeah. Okay, so for what I'm going to do is I tell Abbott about my plan in order to start up a thing for selling baked goods to make money for stuff going on in the suburban district that's next to the slums, to raise money to help people that are in the slums and get the area back to a good, stable position.
I like that very much feels like the kind of thing that could have been discussed in the morning meeting, but that you deliberately didn't because you didn't want our involvement of calling you idiot.
Okay.
So,
What do you need from me?
we're going to be trying
Do you
to...
want me to go talk to bakers, or...
Yeah, we're going to be contacting bakers because we need people to produce the actual goods that we need to sell.
Okay.
I'm not there, I'm asleep, but I'm totally thinking, get stuff from the union. Make her give some flour or something.
Well, we're going to be contacting the union to also take orders and see whether or not they want to sponsor it or something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, this has actually got a plan to it, so there's a lot more likely for them to become involved.
Yeah.
So, you want to go talk to Abby, or should I?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Do you want me to go talk to some bakers, or
Yeah.
see if I can get at least reduction in price of donated time, something along those lines?
Right.
Oh, okay. I'll give that a go.
Alright. If, I also give him an idea of, well, I'm going to go and visit Abigail, and I'm also going to make a stop by the,
I think it's actually Agatha.
Yeah,
Yes.
Agatha. Yeah.
Because her name's not Hawthorne.
No, I believe it is Agatha Hawthorne.
Well, that's a Marvel character.
Oh,
So
I don't know enough about Marvel.
But I'm going to also go and visit a shop and so you'll go and talk to Baker's as far as like a meeting place.
Yeah, it is Agatha Hawthorne.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do comics.
Mm-hmm.
When they make a movie about her, I'll give a shit.
They made a TV show about her.
That's
Not a movie.
not a movie. It's like you're not listening to the requirements.
I guess we'll meet back here. I also take a moment to talk with Spartacus before we leave.
He's easy to
Yeah,
find.
he was kind of on his way. He actually was walking out as opposed to going to sit down.
Oh. Didn't know he could do that. Well, I guess he's having to set up his own, bath chambers.
Well, now that you mention it.
Yeah, and it's like we do got that going for him.
He's got a lot of people to talk to today.
The thing that I wanted to...
I'm assuming a day reduction in the work down in the sewers with how many...
He doesn't work down there.
Yeah, but he has his people there, and he's probably going to have to pull people with all of the different things we...
Oh, no, he's just going to go do it.
Oh. Okay.
Remember, that gold could also be buying contractors to come and build on the thing. Or he might be a handyman himself.
Huh?
I just don't think of him doing work. He organizes work. He organizes people to do things.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, he works.
No, he gets a lot done. I just don't think of him actually being the one to go.
He doesn't
get his hands dirty doing any of it.
Physically
Yeah,
do it.
he usually doesn't go and do it personally.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But this is a bathroom made up to his specifications, so...
He also has to put in an order for 53 suits of armor, 53 crossbows, 53 packs of bolts, without arousing suspicion.
Okay.
There are certain things you just don't delegate.
I wanted to ask Spartacus if he could essentially get me some prices on some items.
Depends on what it is.
Oh yeah, I've got a list of things that I was going to ask him. So
Now you're pulling people off the work crew.
Stone of Good Luck. Wand of Web.
This is so Ryan.
Psy Crystal.
Hey, I already did my bash.
Ring of Mind Shielding that doesn't have a dead husband in it.
Well, I mean, hey, that's a good cock-and-do partner.
Yeah, but she doesn't
Head
want to
of
give him up.
Disguise. And this one I'm not exactly sure because I think that I would get a Amulet of the Devout, but because I'm still a bard, that item is still a rhythm maker strum for me.
Is it one that just ups your 2-hit and
Yeah.
save?
Yeah, spell attack and saving throw DC, but the thing is that the secondary ability makes it to where you can use your Channel Divinity feature without expending one of its uses, and I don't technically have that.
What does the Bard one do?
The Bard one, you can play the drum and make use of one of your Bardic Inspiration feature.
Thank you.
Yeah, regain one of my Bardic Inspiration dice, basically.
Mine's better. I get D4s to all of my casted heals.
What's the rarity on that amulet?
The Amulet of the Devout,
Yeah.
I was gonna just do +1. It's uncommon.
So it's the same as the moon sickle.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to look up what it actually does.
Oh, okay.
Amulet of the Devout.
It's like I knew warlocks have the rod. What do mages or wizards have?
Arcane
Warwand.
Arcane Grimoire.
Because they're important. They're what ups your save DCs.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't. So you're saying it would just be the drums?
Yeah, drums are the bard version of the item.
Okay. So, do you want the amulet or the drums?
He would like the drums that looks like the amulet.
He doesn't want them to be drums.
He wants the benefit of the drums, but he wants it to be the amulet because that more fits with what his character actually is. Because his character has the class bard, but is really ought to be a cleric.
Yeah, but you cast spells via the magic of music.
Gotta have that rhythm.
So unless it's like a
Maybe a more like
one of those bongos.
maybe an instrument that's a little more like a harp kind of thing, like something that's a little more ethereal, a little more religious.
Harps are only religious to Christians.
No, harps are only religious to Hollywood. But
Touche.
Well, I mean, that's what the angels play, is harps.
And if we're switching instruments, mine of choice is the violin for this lady.
So
Yeah, wouldn't it be like
if you
trumpets?
want like a bow of like for your violin of devotion, you could totally do that.
Okay.
Like as it would be a function of your violin, as opposed to a drum.
Right.
We can reskin the drum. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be an amulet of devotion because you.
Yeah, I can't make use of that feature.
I mean, you don't. It's like you're required to be a cleric or a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the drums one called?
Rhythm makers.
Rhythm makers. I got rhythm. I got beat.
They're all Tasha's items.
That's okay. I just.
he's got them all.
Yeah, I just have to scroll to R.
Yeah.
Rapier, revolver.
So you get to
rifle.
regain one bardic inspiration as an action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's totally better.
Surprise! The bard got the short end of the stick again.
True.
Rhythm makers.
Did the divine one also take an action to replenish, or just
Yeah, we
allowed
can-
you to use yours?
Use without expending.
So straight up too.
Okay. Looking up all these prices
Mm-hmm.
is going to slow game down to a crawl. So Spartacus will totally get on that for you.
That's all we have.
Yeah, it feels like the kind of thing that would be great to give the list to the DM. I don't know, between sessions. Are you ready for this?
To be fair, I never checked Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never. So,
And
like,
anyways-
it's not a reasonable thing to... he might have sent it to me. I have no idea. I didn't check.
Yeah. And anyways,
I'm really, really bad about it. So as much as I wish to scold someone about this is my fault.
Could have texted it.
either way, it works in game. Spartacus won't have this information for like a day or two as he sends runners out to all the magic shops.
Right.
So it's just something to add to his roll list. So unless we blew through 2 days,
I mean, we've gone through a decent amount. Look up prices, which means I have to look up prices.
Or come up with them for whatever their equivalent price would be.
Yeah, same thing.
because it seems pretty stable of 250 for uncommon and 2,500 for. I'm thinking prayer beads are rare, but the better items of rare being 5,000.
I didn't say nothing about prayer beads.
Yeah, that was one of the things I asked about was prayer
okay.
beads. And going back and looking, it's like Windwalk would be pretty cool, and Lesser and Greater Restoration are okay. It's like, I guess, playing your ally is interesting, but seems more dangerous than good.
Windwalk.
Yeah. Big gas.
Okay. So you're going to talk to Agatha.
Yes.
And... Okay. Unrelated, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine.
Yep.
First check, is she there?
Yeah, go ahead and head over to the Union House to see if she's around.
Okay. As it's about, by this point, it's like about 10 o'clock. So as you walk up the stairs on the exterior into the office area where you know her office to be, and you walk back there, there's an efficient little man, as in a short human, not like someone who's actually little by their race, working away at his desk, and he looks up and goes, "Yes, miss, how can I help you?"
I'm looking to speak with Miss Agatha.
Oh, let me see if she's taking callers. Who, are you, may I ask?
I'm Mother June.
Let me check. So he gets up and goes and opens the door and closes it behind him, and then steps out. She'll see you.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like a coffee, water?
Oh, not now.
Okay.
Thank you. But go ahead and let myself into her office.
So Agatha is kind of in a much better... She's much better dressed. Like, she kind of has taken on a larger role in this endeavor, and she's seems to be using some of her money to help herself dress a little better. And the office, it was kind of a little gloomy, has like the shades thrown open, windows open, lots of light, lots of fresh air coming in, and it's been redecorated. Whereas it was kind of dark woods and all of that, all of the, like, the desk has been replaced, the shelving has been replaced with lighter, more warm, kind of open, and there's some flowers and vases and stuff. She's like made the office her own, somewhere where she can be comfortable as she's working.
You take a moment to take a look around the room, and it's like, well, I definitely like what you've done with this place compared to what it was before.
Yes, it was a little hard to breathe.
And aren't you looking snappy?
Howell insisted.
He is quite persuasive, isn't he?
Yes. Fortunately, Lubby holds him back from some of his more extreme excesses. I swear.
He was good to work with, though. He's who I went to in order to get the gowns.
Oh, excellent. So much as I'd love to sit and talk fashion all day, I imagine you're here for a reason.
Indeed I am. So I tell her about the go over the plan of me starting up a baked goods sale in order to provide money in order to do charity, that I've recently been introducing myself to the people in the nearby suburbs, and it seems like while proselytizing there, trying to find members of the church doesn't seem like a direct method, that they seem to be less interested in being actively philanthropic over there, that they might be willing to provide some money in order to help the slums if there was some sort of middle in between for them, and selling them baked goods at inflated prices seems to be the way to go.
I mean, I don't disagree. Everyone loves some nice baked goods.
So, I was just trying to come up with ideas for how to run a charity, and was wondering both whether or not the members of the union would want to place orders, or if they'd be willing to sponsor it. We're currently getting in contact with bakers to see kind of how much the starting this up would be, as well as what they could provide for product.
Well, as far as the workers go, if they want to buy the cookies, that's up to them. But for a sponsorship, we do have flour. So I could probably donate. She like goes and opens some books and looks through them and goes, I could probably donate about 100 gold's worth of flour to the endeavor as part of our charitable donations for the year.
Well, that would be wonderful.
So just tell us what bakers you're working with, and yeah,
Okay.
well I'll have it sent over.
Yeah, say I've got Abbott helping me work on this, so he's the one going to talk with them at the moment.
Oh, he's a dear man, but I can't believe you put him in charge of convincing bakers to help you.
Oh. Maybe I should go and track him down.
I mean, yeah.
He's going to do a great job at writing down all the prices that they give. They will be well cataloged and exactly what was quoted.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go and find him.
Best of luck, dear.
Thank you. Alright, let's go searching for Abbott.
You're just glad to have a moment to point out, why did you do that?
I'm like, alright, that's what you want to do.
Alright, so search for Abbott.
The name of the episode. The search for Abbott.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do, you know what? Let's make this funny. Give us a survival check if you're searching.
Okay.
Not investigation?
Well, he knows that it's probably at a bakery.
Yeah, it's like I've got places to... Natural 20.
Okay, first bakery you come to. Abbott's sitting there about a foot off the air going, now, my good man, I know... I was just saying that it would be like, you know, you can get your name out there.
I go up to Abbott. What did you tell this man?
He says that I got to donate my monies and my time to making cookies for peoples to sell, and I get nothing from it.
Oh, he's silly. He didn't understand.
But that would be the most cost effective for us.
Yes!
Now, and it's like, now, Abbott, the bakers have to make their money too. So,
As he's just like...
I like to imagine he's trying to like strong arm, and basically he's using like intimidation techniques, only he doesn't have that option.
Also, like that's something along the lines of 1.25 tons of flour.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, anyway, and he's like, it's like, so, and he's like, he's a dear, but he didn't fully understand. So I then try to explain to the baker that we're currently setting up a charity in order to create baked goods that we're going to be selling to whoever wants to purchase them, and that we're planning on going around to the different districts and whatever, getting people's orders and seeing basically what kind of volume we're going to need for what the baker's going to produce. And the union has at least expressed interest in providing the a large portion of the flour that they have as a way of cutting down on the material costs of doing this. Now we're going to charge the baked goods at such a price that and it's like the baker's going to get their cut of the money because that's just part of the operation. And then the additional money that's going to be charged per unit is going to be sent to both whatever materials are needed to purchase for whatever we're making, and then the rest of that is going to be dedicated to the actual charitable part.
Why didn't you just say it was a charity? It's like Abbott is full scale hiding behind you at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
You lead with that.
go ahead and get a persuasion roll. Not that he's not going to agree, but to see how helpful he will be.
Alright. I will enhance myself.
Just pointing out that you are casting a
Yeah.
spell in front of a guy that you're attempting to persuade.
I'm going to do it, but
Subtly.
subtly.
Oh, right. You can do that.
Yeah.
I forgot that you could just be like, no, he doesn't notice because I say so.
Yeah.
Which
You
is
pull
why
out
you
like
have
a violin bow.
Hold on. Before
But first...
let me just give you a little.
as I dip it over here into sorcerer to cut you off.
Alright, so I get a 27.
Okay. He goes, that sounds great. Those people need help. I'm happy to provide, especially since I can... it's not going to cost me anything. So I'll give you just... We'll go with 1 silver a pack on my end.
Some sort of pack of cookies.
Yes. A pouch. A pack.
My brain is just like, okay, so how much?
We can shrink the number of cookies they get over the years when they forget how many they've had, and then charge the same price or more.
And call it inflation.
Call it inflation. And then inform them that if they don't do it, they don't believe in women.
I don't believe in them. They're fake.
I'm still buying 27 boxes of cookies because I believe in women, goddammit. That's not an exaggeration. That's how many I bought this year.
They haven't shown up at the store yet, so I can bother me.
Alright. Yeah. Yeah, another thing that we're going to have to do, Abbott, is that we're going to have to draft...
Organize all these together?
Well, we're going to have to organize all that. But the other thing is we're going to have to actually come up with what cookies we're selling and then a actual list that we can hand out to people so they can place orders.
That
the
seems
baker
like-
goes,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to my friends who could use a little bit of the business, and we will... You do a church thing, right?
Yep, every Saturday.
Well, would you mind hosting, like, a baking challenge where we come in with, like, cookie samples, and your congregation can pick which ones they think we should put up?
That sounds wonderful. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's going to be a big burden for you to try a bunch of cookies.
It's a challenge that I'll gladly accept. I think we can do it.
Would that be the tomorrow or next week? Because isn't it Friday?
It is Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday.
He can bake a cookie.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'll send a couple of my boys out, and I don't know.
He's got boys too. Get this guy's name. He's leading whatever district he...
Oh god, it's a new one! Go to the fire!
Alright, and we're going to have to get on the Baker Gang's good side and get them under our umbrella.
Yes.
I mean, jokingly, yes. Realistically, having a baker in our pocket for such endeavors could also be helpful.
I mean, it's already, you know.
And it's like,
It's logistically helpful to have a baker.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like,
If the Spellmonger books have taught me anything, it's the most important profession is baking.
I mean, they held a really high position for a lot of reasons.
Because it's by Brigga's Buttery Biscuits.
Well, they were generally also the person who controlled the mill,
Yeah.
and everyone used it.
Because there's something about baker's sons and Miller's daughters.
They bang.
But yeah, be friendly with the baker, and it's like we want to be good buddies with him.
Alright, so, yeah, you spend some time there and like set up a basic expectation, and you're gonna get about 10 to 15 bakers, and they're all gonna bring 1 or 2 kinds of cookies, and you're gonna figure out which ones you want.
Okay.
And hopefully we won't go into super math, because I know both of you want to, and we can just do a profit margin at the end.
No. I feel like that was a very much an evident of, hey, we don't have to nitpick this. This baker will get the other bakers for you. No, that was very much we don't have to waste our time talking to every baker.
No. If you had left Abbott in charge, yes, you would have.
But luckily,
You caught him and had a 27.
yeah.
Well, you can. If it was kind of one of those things that if you got over a 20, he would organize the rest of it for you, so it frees up the rest of your day.
Very good.
I don't know.
So
Go see if you can find someone to donate butter and other goods.
say
I believe there's like the honey people. They have their own thing in this area.
What, with the bees of the unusual size?
Yeah.
The buses?
Yes.
I think we can wait until tomorrow, and then we'll actually have a full list of the ingredients for the recipe.
True.
Yeah, and most of the sweetener in this place is honey.
Yeah,
So
it's like you could rely on.
they don't use a lot of sugar for things. They use a lot of honey.
Yeah.
So most of the cookies are honey-based cookies.
So getting a deal on the honey and getting that donated too. More profit margin.
Right.
Well, it leads to a softer cookie.
Well, that too, but the
The
donated
texture,
part,
like the
important.
texture of the cookies are different in Fantasy Kentucky.
Mhm.
Okay.
Don't worry. With all this food that's been being brought up, Bob is working on a cookbook.
I mean, I have one for me.
No, a fantasy Kentucky recipe specific.
No. These are just, I have my recipes for me.
Well, I'd say if I wanted to even get a good deal on the honey, I'd have to go and talk to the people in the Druids Grove, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm. They generally are the ones who handle the honey.
Yeah. So it's like,
It's just one of those things that, like, honey cookies are cheaper than sugar cookies. Because sugar cookies are actually imported sugar. Whereas
and it's like, so I could at least go and attempt that later, but as far as what Abbott to do,
He needs to start making spreadsheets on how to organize all this stuff.
yeah, it's like I don't know. Maybe take some time to put into the thought of this. Maybe I don't know. He's probably busy as far as asking Spartacus advice on the logistics for it, but
Just tell Abbott you're starting work on this project,
yeah.
and you'll have roles for it.
I mean, if you wanted to come up with, like, pricing schemes for it, you can go and do that.
Yeah, go ahead and try to come up with what we can get the best kind of profitability where people will actually. So it's not so high that it's a luxury product, but not so low that we're not making enough money off of it. Find our sweet spot.
He goes, absolutely. My good man, can I look at your books?
Convince random baker man to let Abbott look at his tax information.
Not tax information, just pricing.
Huh. Does he point to the board? Or, I should ask, is there a board with just written up what his items are?
It's got, like, just, like, display cases of cookies.
Oh, okay. Probably low tax.
Like, I need to know, like, overhead, not just totals. And he's like, fine. Lets him in the back and goes, these are sales, this is overhead. Like, he sits back there and he just starts looking through the books.
Okay.
Chances those books come out better after Abbott's done with the day.
Pretty fucking good.
And it's like, yep. Well, I'm going to be off. Be kind to the man. Behave yourself. Then tell me if
I always behave. I always behave myself. Yes, can I get a tea? And as you're walking out, you hear him ordering food. He goes, I'll pay for it.
And he's like, yeah, as long as you pay the man.
Yeah, I'm good for it.
Mm.
I'll pay you Tuesday for some tea today.
Or I'll do all your accounting for the last 6 years and make all your books better.
Mm. I'm gonna head off to the magic shop.
See, you actually made 600 extra gold. You only want 500 here. Well, I gotta
Okay.
get a fee.
So you're going to the magic shop. The ones you know about are like there's the utility one, like the basic home good ones in the area, and then there's ones further out for like adventuring gear and the like. What are you looking for?
Which one do I think will have gauntlets of ogre power?
Probably the adventuring area.
Okay. Then I go to that one.
I like how that was totally not on your list, but makes the most sense. Again, look at this increase in strength from before and after gauntlets.
I mean, I'd have a pretty good big.
All of you would.
Yeah, that might be a.
They're great until you get a new attunement item. Because I currently have one attunement. How about all of you? Are your Heidi bracelets attuned?
Yes.
I was like, I don't
So
have any.
one.
0.
2. Okay.
Oh yeah, your dagger.
So you're gonna. It's about 2 to 3 hours walking to get to the.
Take the carriage.
Yeah, I'll take the carriage if it's that far distant.
You go to find the carriage and it seems to be gone.
Spartacus must have took it. You could rent a carriage.
Yeah.
Or just take a 6-hour hike.
I'll do it a different day. When the carriage is back.
Yeah, I thought for sure no one was even going to notice that he took the carriage because I didn't think you were going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
To be fair, we don't use it most days.
It's for far distance travel.
Yeah, and even for a far distance travel, we usually can't have it just circling for hours on end.
And as we're probably not getting us, can I, before I went to bed, do the thing we talked about as far as animating the skeleton and aciding away the body?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
And I'm going to get rid of that. I was like,
They wanted to do stuff at night, so I guess I'll go ahead and take a nap now, so I'll be well rested.
Okay, so we're going to go. You guys, besides the acid thing, anything you need to do before you go to bed?
Walked Huxley, made good berries, and went to bed.
Okay. Anything you need to go before
Nope.
you sit at the bar and drink?
Nope.
You're like, I think I'm going to sit at this table and drink.
Just me and Spartacus with spots lord it over.
keep
Just
it
yell
simple.
at minions who come in looking for Spartacus.
No, it's probably too much like work. Okay.
I don't know, put it like day drinking's a myth. It's always night somewhere. Because it's like, what, nice in the morning, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just skywrite that right up there.
And no, it's true if only because of those lands of unending night over in, like, the west. World round or not, there's always night somewhere.
Yeah.
Because someone's cursed something.
You know what you can do while you're taking a long rest that doesn't involve sleep? Concentrate on a spell.
which doesn't make any sense, but you 100% can, apparently.
Like, Skyrim doesn't last that long anyway.
It's a minute
Okay, so
or 10.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
you do all that, and
Tell him, because I think he has them, whatever, just however many to erase from our
Acid.
acid from our stash.
you wind up only using 6 instead of 10.
Nice.
Now, the sludge is probably magically untraceable.
Did you take off your sock?
It came off, yes. That's why I'm putting it back on.
How?
My foot was itchy.
So
Why are you discussing this?
Because he just all of a sudden had a sock.
You live with the guy. Is that unusual?
Yes. There's either yes clothes or no clothes. There's usually not an intermediate. I don't see the clothes coming on or off. As far as I knew, it might as well have been a light switch.
To be fair,
You don't have to be fair.
No. It includes boxers.
So as everyone settles in for their nap later in the day, or their day of sleeping, or their day of drinking, we're going to go ahead and end the session there. Like, comment, subscribe, stick around for more sock content.
No more sock content.
Sock-related content.
None.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.